Hey guys, Evan Rourke here, back in another video. Today we're going to be reviewing the Bandai Baragon reissue. So when it comes to this figure, this is one of the two cheapest figures I got that are newly released Movie Monster Series. I mainly got the newer Movie Monster Series figures for my birthday haul, but this is one of the two along with the Gamma Rebirth that I was looking to get it cheapest, and I was very glad to get, just because it really does give off a better vibe of the Showa Baragon type feel than the first Bandai Baragon. So anyways, let's get straight into the pros of this guy. When it comes to my favorite pro about this guy, it is, in my opinion, the detail. The detail, I would argue, is fairly above average, just because we really get a vibe of Baragon and just the kind of costume design he had in the movies that he was in so many different ways in this figure. First off, we have nice detail with the scales all across the stomach here. I like these kind of pimple circle-like mutations we kind of see on both legs. They really are mostly on those two legs. I mean, there are a few in the arms, but primarily the limbs is where they're at. I also like this detail here with even more. I wouldn't even call these scales, but I don't know what you call them, but they're pronounced really well in the back, all the way down to the tail. Of course, you can feel them. That's how good the detail is on this. Facial detail is well done. I like how they kind of had those facial muscles that we're able to see around his snout and around the eyes, as well as these mini horns. Very, very nicely done, I feel. Let's get into the next thing I like about this figure. So the next thing I like about this is the articulation. For once, the newer Movie Monster Series Bandai does actually have decent articulation. I've always said that a Bandai should have at least 4 joints of articulation. This has 5, making it a slightly above average pro. We got the arms, which go 360, legs, which go 360, and the tail. So that would be, 5 joints all around. There's no stiffness in any of these joints. It's just a nicely movable joint for both the arms and the legs and the tail, which I think it being over 4 joints is what we should get on, as an average on every Bandai figure. But it's a shame that I have to say that this is rare enough to the point where I give it a higher pro in this one rare figure where it does have this. Let's get into the next thing I like about this figure. The next thing I like about this figure is the paint job. The paint job on this figure is a solid average, and I'm pretty sure you can guess why. It really is primarily one color, and that is brown. There's no real color shades which can be blended in. I mean, the only real examples of any other color we have here, possibly even a little bit of a color shade, is the kind of white we see on the claws as it transitions from that brown that we see throughout the entirety of the figure. We also have a little bit of a booming color with the mouth, it being red. I think it could be a little bit more booming, but fairly good. And also, of course, the paint job on the eyes of it being black and white. But you guys get the point. For it having one primary color, I can't really suggest that the paint job is so well done. They just based it off of what the figure itself was, and I think they did a decent job at that, so that's why I'm saying it's just a solid average. Let's get into the cons of this figure. So when it comes to the cons of this figure, I really only have one major con, and this is kind of always the case where I just have to go back to something that I said was a pro, but could have been an even better pro had they not have this at all, and this correlates to articulation. Now, when it came to articulation, yes, I gave it a pro. I still think it's a pro. It has 5 joints of articulation, but one thing that I think downgrades it a bit is, like I always point out, I've never understood the point of them, is glue seals. So you might have saw as I was showing the articulation earlier that you would think there's 6 joints of articulation. 2 in the arms, 2 on the leg, 1 on the tail, and 1 on the head. But you'd be wrong. The head actually does not have a joint. It is a glue seal. It is a glue seal. I hate glue seals. Never understood the point of them, like I said earlier. And it's a shame, because had this got a movable joint, there's no reason why there should be a glue seal. If anything, I find it more common to see a tail as a glue seal, but the head moving is quite common for Bandais. I don't know why they decided to make this the glue seal over the tail. A lot of what they've made recently, as far as decision making is concerned, is not. I just don't understand it quite well, to be honest with you. So yeah, the head, I don't know why that's a glue seal, but that really does bother me. So that takes a pretty big con out of the rate. So I really don't have any other cons, not even a nitpick other than that main con, which is why I'm going to be rating this figure a 9 out of 10. This figure is good. I would 100% recommend it, given the fact that right now it's around $30 or $40 in Showcase Daikaiju. And yes, this price guarantee will go up on sites, not just Showcase Daikaiju, but literally anywhere within a year once he starts selling out. So again, highly recommend. I think they did a nice job at a reissue for once. It's not like this reissue that might look well, but the articulation is bad. I mean, they did, I think, a very good job in this. Hence why I think 9 out of 10 is a great rate. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later, and bye-bye.